Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're at. Welcome to another edition of the England Roger Sports Hour. Roger is running a little late, but he'll be joining us shortly. And as usual, another nice sunny so far. It's a bit overcast, but it looks like it's going to get some sun later on. And the weather has been tricking us all week. I mean, there were 2 days that was so nice that my friends invited me to golf, but I had already packed up my golf clubs for the season. So I said, you know what? I was tempted, but I didn't go out to play. And then they sent me messages after and started rubbing it in how a wonderful time they had. And the weather was so fantastic, and yes, it was fantastic. But a lot of people are out and about for those 2 days. But we're now gone back to reality, where it's cool fall weather. What is it? What we normally expect to have in this part of the world. But we hope that it stays one way. Better for us if it stays one way. It plays on your mind when you have one good warm day and then another big cold. But anyway, there's a lot of sports to talk about on this weekend when the clocks turn back. Don't forget tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. the clocks go back to daylight saving time. The bad thing about that is that you're gonna have a whole lot of darkness. It's gonna get dark earlier, so but anyway, it messes up. That's another thing that messes up with the body system and the mind. And there's statistics that show during that time there's a lot more accidents. So drivers, be careful out there, and everyone have to stay safe. As we said, there's a lot of sports to talk about. There's racing going on. There is basketball. The last night was a sold out crowd actually, the NBA, because we had the Lakers in town, and the Raptors lost to the Lakers. Depleted Raptors actually lost to the Lakers, but everyone was looking forward to seeing LeBron and his son Bronny playing together in Toronto. And I'm sure that was one of the reasons why we had a sold out crowd. But they didn't play together. Bronny had just 7 seconds, so that's still pretty good. To see that he came to Toronto and the fans are actually coming out to see history with the father and son duo. So definitely a good thing to see and to have. But during the game, what I noticed, it was a fast start by the Lakers, and then it ended up Toronto came back a bit as usual with basketball. But it was never going to be a Toronto win. It was always going to be the Lakers win from start, and they looked pretty good. Lakers who had a 3-0 start, then lost two in a row, and then they back on the winning track again. Toronto need to get back there. They now both ended up at 4-2, and the Toronto Raptors actually play again tonight. And tonight they're gonna be um, retiring Vince Carter's number. So that's a historical thing for Toronto, and we look forward to it. And I hope there's a sold out crowd tonight again, because that's one of the greatest things to have. And I'm sure for Vince Carter, what a feeling it's going to be just to have his number retired, as the first Raptor to have his number retired. And it's really, really going to be something special. So, all you basketball fans, if you have the time tonight, go out and watch and see the game, support Vince Carter and what he's done. And those of you who can't go, make sure you catch it on TV. And this historical moment. But so far, the NBA has been going well, and the team's very early in the season, so we can't make any predictions yet. But I like to see good games, and the games have been pretty good so far. Surprise for me, I think, is the Cleveland Cavaliers after a 6-0 start. Never expected that, but they've been playing some great basketball. And speaking of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Bronny James had his first basket against the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple nights ago, where he scored 4 points, and it was good for him to get his first NBA points. He would not forget that because it was in his hometown, close to where he grew up. And we'd like to welcome Roger. He's here with us now. And Roger, we're just talking about the basketball, and tonight actually, the Raptors are going to be retiring Vince Carter's number.
Yes, you know what? It's something I'm actually looking forward to. I think Vince Carter gave us so many thrills and so many fantastic dunks. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you were around to see what he did, Ingle, but it changed everything about basketball in Toronto. So I'm happy that his jersey is going to be retired here. I know he didn't leave on good terms, but I think he's mature now, and I think it's looking much better. So yes, I'm happy that it's being done, and it's unfortunate I won't be able to make it, but it's going to be
Yeah.
a fantastic ceremony for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. And I was also talking about last night sold out because LeBron and his son was in town. But
Yes.
Raptors ended up on the wrong side of it. A lot of injuries for the Raptors. Hopefully they
You know
will.
what?
Mhm.
If Scotty Barnes is injured, we're in serious trouble. So
Yes.
can I say we're in serious trouble?
You are in serious trouble then.
It's
'Cause
3 weeks he's going to be out for at
yeah,
least.
3 weeks, yeah.
So it's already a injured team. RJ Barrett, all those guys injured. So to see Scotty go down, it's going to be really tough for the Raptors. I'm almost ready to say that they may have to give up the season already.
Wow. You
And
know,
it's not even week 3 yet.
it's not, yeah, not week 3. Yeah, I was looking online for some tickets to go watch the Raptors, and it's
Oh
amazing.
yeah, oh yeah.
It's so
I'm
to
working on the
find
New
it.
York game. I like the Knicks.
Okay,
So
the
I
next,
want to
yeah.
see New York. And of course, I'd love to see LA and whoever I can see, I'd go. I mean, most of the games I go these days, so many stars out there. So
Yeah,
yeah, whichever one I can get to, I'm gonna go. So yeah, I'm gonna go to a handful at least this year.
yeah. I was actually looking for Lakers game last night, and I saw the tickets are up just because it's LeBron, and then tonight, tonight the tickets are even less than 50% of the cost of last night.
Last night, I know. These people know
Sacramento.
how to market their stuff, man.
Yeah, they do. I mean, whoever is in town, it's value, right, for the dollar. So I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah, but yeah, definitely gonna catch some games this year sometime during the season, and
yep.
enjoy some basketball at some point during the season for sure.
It's a good team to
So
support, although I don't think they're gonna win a lot of games.
no, I don't think they're gonna get very far, but yeah, supporting a new team is always good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just talking about basketball. I was talking about things that are gonna happen. The Brazilian Grand Prix is on in not the Brazil. Is it in Brazil or Grand Prix this weekend?
What's that?
The Brazilian Grand Prix is on this
We're talking
weekend.
Formula One.
Paulo. Yeah, we
Yeah, in
finished
Sao
in
Paulo.
Sao
Yes,
Paulo. Sao
yes.
Paulo, yeah.
That's a big
And
thing happening there, man. A really big thing.
it is very big indeed. And 47 points behind is Norris, and a chance for him to make up some ground because he's second on the grid in the sprint.
Yes, I
And
noticed that. But I think you know what? It's weird, but when you really think about what Norris needs to do to catch him
it's a
and
lot.
beat Verstappen, it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. It's not
There's
going
four
to be.
races to go
Yeah.
and two are sprint events, right? So there are a total of 120 points available. That means he needs to sort of get 12 points a race to beat him or something like that, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
not so easy unless Verstappen does badly and
Fast.
Norris wins. I think it's going to be very, very tough for Verstappen to lose, but it's going to be close.
He's going to have to be out of the top 10 in most races, and that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, right? So I mean, Norris has to sort of win all four, and
Yeah.
maybe Verstappen is out of the top 10, maybe three out of them, and don't get any points in the sprint or anything like that, which is going to be difficult. But at least it's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I'm sure a good talking point for Formula One fans because Verstappen is he's starting at fourth, so he's not he's going to get points definitely
Yes,
today.
yeah, he's gonna be getting points around, in and around there, and I mean he's not the most popular champion,
No,
but I think he's gonna defend his title. But the way it looks right now,
it looks like yeah, definitely. Hamilton actually has been saying he's not happy at all, and he's basically saying that he has no trust in the car, and I think he sounds like he's just given up.
you know what though? I think everybody knows he's leaving, and
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they're putting enough effort into making him a champion or making him a winner. So I think he's feeling that. Yeah, it's almost like a dry season for them. It's like they care, but they really don't care.
Yeah, I think that's how it seems. It's like whatever happens,
What
happens.
exactly?
Yeah.
Whatever happens, it's all good.
Hmm. Yeah, then
which is not a good thing.
yeah, it's not a good thing. He's leaving, so just let
Yeah,
him. But then the main race is tomorrow. Goes at 1 o'clock. It's probably gonna be 12 o'clock our time because the clocks go back, right?
I know, I know,
Yeah,
I know. I'm looking forward to that extra hour, but yeah, for sure, the clocks go back tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see.
yeah,
It's going to be an interesting race because Verstappen and Norris, they were involved in an accident a couple of weeks ago, and they were involved in an accident again last week.
again
So,
last week. Yeah.
so are they going to have a third one, Ingrid? You got betting, man? Or are they going to have another?
No, I don't think they'll have a next one. I think they're gonna race properly this weekend in
I
Brazil.
hope they do. I really
So
hope they
follow,
do.
yeah.
All that brings a bit of drama to the sport.
It does. It does bring some drama to the sport, and yeah, it's gonna be. It's for the fans who love sport. I mean, anything that happens, and they have the words that off the field, off the track as well, because
Yes,
now it's been saying that Verstappen knows what he's done, and
exactly.
yeah,
You know what? As weird as it may sound, I actually agree with Norris.
hmm
I think
yeah,
Verstappen knows what he's doing. He knows what he has done.
yeah, he does. He does know what he's doing, and he has to just own up to it and just accept it.
He's not going to do that, though, apparently, which is
Uh,
unfortunate. But that's why he's not the most popular champion.
no, he's not popular at all, and the things that he says to about, he's about leaving and he's fed
Yeah,
up and all this stuff. Yeah, so yeah, those things don't work when you're a champion. You have to be positive.
true. So true.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye. It's 5 laps gone so far, and Piastri's in lead. Norris, Hamilton has gone from 11 to 14. Uh, so
He's going in
now
the wrong direction, it
he's
sounds.
going, yeah. Leclerc in third, Verstappen fourth, Russell still in sixth position. So 5 laps done, 5 of the 24 laps in the sprint.
Yeah,
We'll see how what happens in that.
for sure, for sure. Interesting
Mm.
times.
Yes, very interesting times for sure. Um, the other sports that we talked about is tennis starting tomorrow. The women's
You,
champion.
you mean the Hong Kong Open
I think the end of season um, WTA
or WTA?
championship. Yeah,
Yeah, I know there's one going on in Hong Kong that
Hong
Layla.
Kong is. Yeah, she's not in the WTA finals though. But the
Okay.
WTA final starts tomorrow with
Oh, today. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah, it's gonna be
Saudi Arabia.
Sabalenka and her favorite, her best friend Zhang,
I know.
and then Paulina and Rybakina, and then I think tomorrow is Coco and Pegula who are doubles partners.
Oh, that's going to be a tough game. Pegula always gives her a hard time, but yeah, Swiatek and Kedrovka as well. So,
Yes, so yeah, that group is tough, and who's gonna come out? I mean, the talk is anybody gonna beat Sabalenka? That's the question at everybody's mind.
I
But
always say Swiatek can beat her, but I mean, at the end of the day, and maybe Coco on her best day, but at this point in time, Sabalenka is looking really good, though.
yeah, the Coco Gauff is actually speaking up because she's not too happy that it's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of talk about Saudi Arabia, even in
yeah,
soccer too, as well. So,
yeah. So it's not everybody's talking about things happening there, and she talks about the LGBTQ and rights
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
And yeah, so it's controversial to be there, but Saudi Arabia is doing its best to get all the sporting events.
yeah. They're spending a lot of money. They want the Olympic. They want everything.
Yeah, they do. But so it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of those groups. They're going to play each other, and
Yeah.
you know, and it's going to be tough for I think Goff, but she's going to have a best game to beat Swiatek. I hope somebody beats. Pegula always seem to beat Swiatek, so
Yeah,
yeah,
Pegula is a pretty interesting entry because I think on her best day she seems to be able to beat anybody.
yeah, she seems to be able to beat anyone. So yeah, the top two comes out of the group and
Yeah.
play each other. So it's going to be very interesting to see Swiatek. She hasn't played for a while.
No, she changed coaches though, so let's see if she got the medicine she needed to come back on top.
Yeah, we'll see. I think and so much coach changes.
Yeah.
I think
At the
even
top there,
Sabo.
you know what? To be on top, you got to make changes if you're not doing as good as you want to, right?
Hmm.
So this is the year it seems that everybody's changing coaches.
Everybody's changing coaches. Yeah. So yeah, and then we have even Rivakina.
Yep,
She's changed her coach too.
as well.
She's got Ivanovic as this new coach. So everybody
Yeah, yeah.
changes, changing.
Lots of changes going on, man. I'm
Yeah,
telling
so
you.
we will keep an eye on the with WTA finals, see how that
So you say
goes.
it's a Sabalenka Swiatek, or who are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's gonna be a Sabalenka Swiatek. I don't believe that as much as my heart would say Coco, I have to go with Swiatek to get out of that group.
What about Paulina?
Um no, I don't think she will. Paulina, you think she can beat Swiatek? I mean Sabalenka?
It's an X factor. I mean,
Mm.
because
She
yeah,
is an X factor. She's been playing some good tennis all
yes,
season,
yes,
and
yes,
that's a good thing about it. But one bad slip up, and the good thing is they play each other.
yes, they do, they do. The only
Yeah.
reason I mentioned her is because I think a lot of these people coming in have something going on with them. She's coming in with nothing going on, so maybe she's the
Mhm.
most relaxed. Who knows?
Yeah, could be the most relaxed. That's true. So maybe she will come through, but starts actually today our time, is
Today,
it?
yeah, today it
It's,
starts.
yeah, so it's yeah, because it's in Saudi, so it starts
Sorry,
today. Yeah,
today, yeah, yeah, it does.
yeah. So we will see how that goes, and we'll keep an score on that. Anything else you wanted to discuss on tennis or any other sports?
Yeah, as mentioned, Leila Fernandez was in the Hong
Layla?
Kong Open, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she got to the semifinals because she's been having a really bad year. Anyway, she lost in the semifinals to the top seed, straight Schneider of Russia. So she's out. So I'm
Oh
trying to
no,
watch the Canadians to see just how they're going to be doing this year, and I don't know, they're pretty average, or not
they
even
have been.
average.
They have been very average.
Yeah, I don't know. A little disappointed in the year for them, but I'm hopeful that they will all bounce back and do something special for next year.
Let's hope so because you look at it, Felix, everyone,
Yeah,
they've just not been good this year.
no, no, they haven't. Yeah, the only other sport I want to talk about quickly, well, there's two actually.
Mhm.
Uh, what happened to the Yankees?
Really,
What happened to them, Ingo?
it's a sellout. I mean, I didn't think they could lose that. I mean, they were down 3-0. I know they was tough coming back. Then they had that big blow at 11-4, and then
You were optimistic after that,
that
right?
yeah, because going into the ninth to the eighth inning, they were up again,
Yeah,
8-6, and I thought, okay, they got to hold on to this for sure.
they started
And
dropping the balls and making
then
mistakes. And I
yes,
don't know what happened. That's weird for something like that to happen in the
I
World
know
Series.
it was very weird. So I don't know. I just said, Roger won.
But the Dodgers did it, and the Dodgers sort of deserved it. I think they were a more consistent team,
They were very consistent.
so I give them credit for that. But yeah, New York sort of gave it away, in my opinion.
Yeah, they did. I mean, at least they could have won, and we have another game going today. But they
And
just,
that's what I thought. I
yeah,
actually, when I saw them going up, I was like, okay, this is going to be another one for New York, but
hmm
they found a way to give it up.
yeah, they did find a way. And Dodgers didn't waste any time. They are having their parade today.
Oh yeah,
It's
they're
gonna be
back
back
and
home. See, the parade is, yeah, it's just tons. It's gonna
well,
be huge. It was it
it's
today or was it yesterday?
yesterday. It was
It was
yesterday.
yesterday, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Friday. Yeah.
yeah, Friday. Yeah,
So
they had
yeah,
a
they
huge
don't play
parade.
around, but it's LA is a sporting city, man. So any winners they have down there, it's going to be huge.
I think they had to do it right away too because the U.S. election comes up on Tuesday, so we can't,
Yeah, you want
that's
nothing too close
not
to that
too
one.
close to that because once that election, even when the election is done and we have the results, there's gonna be so much controversy.
That's going to be another story times 10. So that's going to be a serious one
So,
to look out for.
so
But we
the
got to keep
sport,
our eyes on that one for sure.
yeah. So the sports just have to make sure. Listen, we're done. We're out of the way. We're not getting in your way.
Exactly,
Yeah, but
exactly.
yeah, the Dodgers. Kudos to the Dodgers and winning the World Series and very good. I didn't expect that kind of blowout, but
No,
congratulations.
no. But I think This talk about the dynasty and all of that. I don't know if we should be talking about that already, but they do look like a solid team from top to bottom.
Yeah, they do.
So they could be dangerous going forward. But yeah, kudos for what they have done this year. Deserved champions.
They have, they deserve it. And
Yeah.
let's see. I always talk about dynasty in sports, and then off season you see so many changes. The whole,
Change everything.
the whole
More
dynamics
than
of
it's
the
for
team
you.
change. Yeah.
Oh boy. The other one I wanted to talk about, don't have a lot of information on it, but it's always good to mention it because,
Mm,
spent a lot of time with Jason Portuando, Mr. Horse Racing himself. And the
yeah.
Breeders' Cup is going on right now. So
Okay.
yes, yesterday was day one, today is day two. And of course, you have the $5 million Breeders' Cup Classic. So big races. If you're a horse racing fan, it's a beautiful day for horse racing. So look
Hmm.
out for that. So I don't have any tips this time because I haven't been too close this year. But it's a big day for horse racing. The Breeders' Cup is probably the biggest day for horse racing in the year.
So you don't have a horse to watch for?
No, not this year. Not this
Okay.
year.
I know you always have a pick normally, but
Always have a pick, but I don't have one this year. So it's a little up and down this year. So
I usually watch the races. I just watch it, and I don't have a. I don't follow it that close. I
yeah,
sometimes just go through it and I say, hey, this name
this name
looks
catches.
good, catches me, so I'll go with that.
I know that's
Yeah.
what a rookie better always does. Just look at the name of the horse and the
Someone else.
name or the colors.
The colors, yeah.
Name and colors. I look at their training. I look at their jockey. I look at their breeding. I look at their past performances. I look at their big ratings. So I look at the whole slew of things. It's a little different for me.
Yeah, I know there's some people just spend the whole day, spend time going through
Reading the
everything,
forms.
reading.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
crazy.
remember I was back in England once, and a friend of mine, he's into horse racing, and back then it was just the newspapers. So he's going
Yes.
to the papers and looking at this thing. He says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Oh, he's going to the horse, checking
Yeah,
to put his bet." And then he asked me to bet, and then he got upset because I won,
and he didn't.
and he didn't.
And he's been reading the forms all day, and you haven't.
Exactly. I haven't. And he said, "How did you come up with that horse?" So I said, "Well,
I like the
it was,
name.
yeah." I said the name plus it was coming third and fourth for the last couple of races, so maybe it's turned out. So I just said, "Let me go with this horse."
There you go. That's the beauty of horse racing.
Yeah, I won a few
Surprisingly,
pounds, and he was upset.
yeah. Well, I won't get upset, but yeah, usually the winners come from the people that have no clue what they're doing.
Yes, that's so true. Beginner's luck.
Exactly. That is so
Yeah,
so true.
yeah. So Peter, what time is it today? Do you know?
It starts, I think, at 2
Two. Okay.
as
And the
usual at
main
NBC. I could double check and make sure, but
but the main race is normally a little later, right?
yeah, they usually go until after 6. So
Yeah, the main race is normally just before they go off.
yes, yes, yes. They actually say it's not even 5 million anymore. It's $7 million for the classics. It's a lot of money.
Oh wow.
Well, and that's in California as well. So maybe that's why they did the thing. The Dodgers did their thing because today's
Today's
Breeders' Cup
Breeders' Cup. Yeah.
on there. So
Okay. We'll keep an eye on the Greek Breeders' Cup and we'll update for sure.
oh, for sure, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Anything else?
No, that's it for other sports.
Okay, you're listening to the England Rogers Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. And actually, we're going to get into some cricket and we're going to start right away with the West Indies. They lost to Sri Lanka, but they're back on home soil with a big win against England a couple of days ago and playing the second match today, this morning.
Did you watch the game? Game
I
one?
did, I did watch West Indies back. I didn't watch too much of
England. Same here. Same here.
it.
So I think I don't know, and I've always been a huge Evan Lewis fan, so I'm happy that he's back and in form. But I think him and Brandon King at opening the batting seems
Hmm.
to be a very, very, very solid combination.
I think so. I think it's a great combination. King was going not his usual self. He was a bit
So
slow.
he was struggling a bit, but he wasn't giving up. He was just making sure he was out there with Lewis.
Yeah, and that was a key thing. Lewis was scoring, so I think he's staying around. It was a good thing. So I
It's
don't
a
think,
big,
yeah, I don't think anything is wrong with that. And I think, as you said, the combination and the good thing for me is to see Evan Lewis back in the
yep.
squad, and he's one of the few players in the West Indies team that's averaging over 40
Yes.
in ODI cricket.
Yeah.
So it's good to see West Indies in a winning ways, and it was a good gift for the people of Antigua just before their independence yesterday.
Independence. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
to
know.
see the smiles on the face of the Caribbean people.
It was a huge thing for them. Although I didn't think the crowd was as big as I thought it would have been, but I think it was a fantastic victory. It was a dominant victory by the West Indies, and what more could you ask for, you know?
Yeah, that's true too. And I just said the crowd. I mean, the second game is on, and I'm looking at it starting at 9:30, and it just seemed mostly the visiting English people are there,
Yeah, yeah,
and a few locals. And you'd think in the Caribbean, sorry, by now we would have noticed that people like day night games. They don't like day
yeah.
games.
I
And
know. Yeah,
Saturday, Saturday, unfortunately, in the Caribbean, you're competing with market in the morning early,
I know.
and then Sunday you're competing with church.
I know. And you know what? I mean, we're from the Caribbean, so we totally understand it and get that. A lot
Mhm.
of people don't, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Saturday morning is not for sports first thing in the morning.
No, it's not.
And Sunday morning, forget it, it's church.
Yeah, so yeah, West Indies. I think you know. I mean, if they'll bat in second, you'll probably see a big crowd, but
Yes,
it
yes.
depends on how well they bat in this game. That you'll see people show up in the afternoon. But
Yeah,
so far, and no Antiguans are playing. I don't think in this game.
that's, yeah, I know, I know, I know. I mean, I think they have a good batting team. I
Hmm.
think the team seems okay as long as the bowlers do their part. And England, this is, I won't say it's their B team, but it's their A minus team, I would say. It's not really their top team, but I think as long as the batters show up, I think we'll be okay. Um, I wasn't, well, Carty's there. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on that, but I think
Hmm.
other than him, I'm a little iffy, and I think everybody else seems to deserve their place.
Yeah, I think Kati deserves a. I think he's a good player, but I honestly believe he's more of a test player.
There you go.
West
Me
Indies,
too.
but West Indies keep pushing him to play ODIs and not Test cricket. But I
Cricket.
think he's more of a Test player.
I agree with
But
you.
yeah, so Kati, yeah, but it's gonna be tough for him when everybody's back. Like when a guy like Puran comes back,
Right.
it's probably
Yeah.
gonna be tough for Kati because the other guys, as you said, they're very good and they may deserve a game.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's going to have to do something special. West Indies struggling a bit right now. They lost the two first wickets early in this second game, 60 for two. Hope is there on 29. Carty's on 19.
Oh, the last both King and Lewis?
Yeah, King and Lewis. King was out for seven. Lewis was out for four. Both were unfortunate, but giving Turner his first ODI wickets. Both. I think King played a pretty good shot and a good catch, and then both Lewis played a hook shot, his favorite, but played too early and got a slight edge down the leg side. Keeper caught him. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think both are gone, but they're rebuilding right now, 60 for two, and I think still look like a good batting strip. So,
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah.
fingers
It seems
crossed
like
for
a
them.
strip you can get 300 on.
Yes, it does. And two things surprised me this morning. One, that Shamar Joseph is just making his debut. Well, I thought he played one day before, but you heard so much about Shamar
I
Joseph.
know. He
I
played
was shocked.
T20, but not one day.
Yeah, and then the second thing that surprised me is that he's only played two one-day matches in the past before getting his debut. You
I
know.
know. So, and I mean, it's something I wanted to talk about when you get to your news and notes, but I mean, he had one good series in Australia and his ratings
Mhm.
went through the roof, but maybe he's coming back down to earth. I don't know. Maybe when you really look at his stats and everything, he doesn't have the history that supports greatness as yet.
No, the pitch was pretty conducive to his bowling. His bowled very fast pitches, and he was just unsung. And thing that made it even so special, he bowled with an injured toe.
So, yeah, yes,
So that's what
for
made
sure.
it so special. And he's coming back to reality that cricket is not so easy.
I think he's finding that out, and I think the West Indies is slowly realizing that maybe we gotta take it a little slow with this guy.
Yeah, he's got to play much more cricket for sure.
Yeah,
West Indies, I think, as you said, they look very comfortable now, and I think a 300 is on the cards.
they should be. Hetmeyer comes next, right?
you've got Hetmeyer, you've got and then Sheffield and Rutherford,
Rutherford, yeah.
Royston, Chase. So still some good batting and
Nothing to
most.
come, yeah. That's what I said. I think the batting is very solid
Mm-hmm.
all the way down. So even though we lost the two guys that I thought were going to do something special, but I strongly believe that the middle order is pretty solid as well.
Yeah, very special. And Shea Hope, he needs to get some runs. He's not been doing very well. He's
He
been
does.
wrong. Yeah,
He
so
does for sure.
fantastic season against England last year, and let's hope that this can bring him back. If he can get 100 today, that'll be good for him.
It'd be
Good
great
for
for
West
him
Indies.
and the West Indies if he does that for sure.
Yeah. Other cricket news, test matches going on
Yeah, India.
in there, and it's
What's
it's
going on in India?
it's actually the bounce back today, and it's now the New Zealand in the second innings, they're 171 for 9,
Yeah,
a
I just
443 run lead, but it could be a winning total if they get 150.
there you go. And I think before, when England is there, India is there, you always this is going to be a breeze for them. Now every time you play, they play is like we're nervous to say, are they going to win, or they're becoming like Pakistan, where you can't even know what they're going to do, which is weird. They were so consistently good for so long.
Yeah, one of the things, I think it was the New Zealand, I can't remember which one of them. I don't know if this commentator do, I'm not sure. But he said, I think it could have been Dool. He said, the reality is that the modern day Indian batsmen are not as good as playing spin as people think. They're just,
Okay, that
they're
is it.
just
Okay,
yeah, he
that's
said that,
interesting though.
yeah, he said they're just the same like every player in every country. They're not that great.
Now, do you agree with that? Because I don't know.
Totally
Maybe.
agree. I'm totally agree. The Kohli's is getting older. He's not as consistent. He got
Yeah,
run out in the first innings, sadly. And
yeah.
the funny thing is, I was watching the game, and then India were going along very well, and
Yeah.
it was 70. I think it was 75 for one.
One. Yeah.
And then I just changed to the news, and then when I checked the end of the day, I saw that 4 wickets were down,
I know.
including Kohli.
Yeah, it was really weird to see them just boom, just like that.
Yeah.
They look like the West Indies, just have these big crashes.
Yeah, but I think that the modern day cricketers play different. They have a
True,
different mindset, especially for T20. The
true.
defense and stuff is not as solid, so they
Agreed.
don't play spin as well. And this pitch is already doing a lot, so I
Yeah, it
think
is.
I think the spinners for New Zealand are going to come in quite handy in the second innings.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure, for sure. It's gonna be an interesting finish for for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting finish, and I will stay up and watch some of
I
it
watch to
tonight.
see how it goes tonight.
Yeah, at least for the first session, maybe I'll stay up and watch,
Yeah,
and can sleep a little an hour more tomorrow, right?
there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
1 hour extra.
yeah. The other series that was ongoing is Bangladesh and South Africa, and
Yep.
that series basically, I think it's done actually. South Africa's won that series 2-0, and there was no competition. Bangladesh didn't put up much of a fight, but it was quite easy for South Africa to win that
Yeah.
series,
True. True. Very
especially
easy.
in
Too easy.
too easy, and especially to win in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Simmons, not a great welcome. I mean, he went in at a bad timing too because they fired the coach, and then 2 days before the first match, he was getting the coaching job.
Tired.
So
Yeah.
not enough time to make an impact.
Not enough. I mean, as I said, he's a lucky man. I think he has coached every big country in the world, maybe other than England. I think he's he's
He's
done
good
it
at
all
it.
with everybody. So
Yeah,
but he hasn't had the amount of success that I think for someone with
associate.
his he should have more
Yeah,
success. But I don't know.
yeah, he's done from associate test full members, and he's not had a lot of success, which is true.
No.
Yeah. Other series starting tomorrow. We have got the ODI series with Australia and Pakistan. Starts tomorrow in Australia. Barbara Azam is back in the Australia team.
Yeah,
I
the
mean, in the
Pakistan team.
Pakistan team. Yeah.
I guess he got some well-deserved rest. I think.
Well, yeah, they were saying he was dropped, and then
I know.
they came out and said no, he wasn't dropped. They gave him a rest.
I would go on the side of he got a rest. I don't think they would drop their superstar, but you never know.
No, And the thing is, he's one of the only two players that got the Pakistan A contract. So could you
Ah,
drop a player and
after I
then
give
give
him
him,
all this,
yeah, and then give him an A contract?
doesn't
So
make sense.
no, it doesn't make any sense. So I think the central contracts Babur Azam was him and Mohammed Rizwan were
This one,
they were the only two with A contracts. So
they're the two best players,
yeah,
without a doubt. So,
yes, exactly. So yeah, and so that series is going to be done, and then I believe after Pakistan also has a series coming up later on. Or no, sorry, it's is it Zimbabwe? Sorry, has a
Zimbabwe.
series coming up with Pakistan, the T20 series coming up later on also.
Hmm.
And Zimbabwe trying to make themselves back into cricket because they have not had a lot of cricket. They've had some mishaps here and there, but they're trying to get themselves back. And one of the things that they have to do is qualify for T20, which I don't agree with. But hey,
I know.
I guess it's ICC.
Yeah, but yeah, Zimbabwe has had a rough run, I would agree, over the last few years. So let's
Yeah,
see if
they've
they
had a
can
rough.
figure it out going forward.
Yeah, the final thing for me on cricket is going to be the West Indies. I don't know if you've been watching any of the cricket. West Indies
Oh, the Super 50?
quickly started this week. Couple of good wins for Barbados. Actually, yesterday's chase against the Leeward Islands was impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's good to see that teams can chase down big scores and have a result.
Yeah, and I think we have seen a couple centuries as well, which is also fantastic.
I mean, Graves have started with 2 centuries. He
Yeah,
played for the West Indies. He's a player that I think West Indies didn't give enough time.
I
He was
know.
in the West Indies tour and then he got dropped. And then they brought in Joel Andrew, who I think is okay, but I'm not sure if
I was confused by that, to tell the truth. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get someone young in early, but I'm a little confused as to how he got in at this point.
yeah, I'm a little confused as to how we got into it, but there's some people who think it's the greatest thing, but I don't think so. I don't think.
Not yet. Not, I
Not
don't
yet.
see it as yet, to tell the truth.
No, I
I'll
don't
give
think
him his chance to show, but I don't see it as yet.
that's true. And current game going on is Jamaica and West Indies Academy, and John Campbell got 39. He's out for 39,
Okay.
and O'Dane McCarthy. I don't know that name, McCarthy.
Yeah, he's
O'Dane.
a young kid coming up. Yeah.
He was out for a dot. But Kirk McKenzie, he's on 68.
Oh, pretty good. I
I
got
believe.
happy to see him getting some rounds. I thought, with him and Campbell out there, they would have done well. So
Yes, and Jermaine Blackwood is with him on 19. So Jamaica 141 for two after 22 overs. Great
yeah,
going.
I think Blackwood is on his way back. I think Mackenzie is trying to prove a point, and Campbell is also back. So I think those three, if they put their heads down, Jamaica may be able to get some decent scores.
And the good thing, Rogers, when you see these guys like Lewis coming back, as you
Yeah.
said just now, Blackwood on his way back, McKenzie, all these guys, they always have represented West Indies at some time. So it's good to see that they're going to be fighting for spots. So maybe that will help West Indies get stronger.
I'm with you on that. So what I've seen is that I think West Indies playing a lot of cricket these days. There's a lot of money coming out of cricket these days, and I think people want to be part of West Indies cricket, and they're fighting for their spots right now. And yeah, you have a lot of players sort of in the same caliber, which is a challenge because there's no outstanding person. So everybody really has to fight, dig hard to get their spot now.
Yeah, everybody has to do that. And yeah, it's good to see the fights. And but that's how it was. West Indies was strong back in the day. Because I mean,
Exactly. We had a lot of
that's
people fighting for a few spots.
you had like some great players who couldn't even get into the squad. I mean,
Exactly.
guys were
Exactly.
scoring close to 1,000 runs a series
And
and domestically and
I
can't get
can't
in.
make it. I know.
Can't make it. So that's
And
what
we're
they
heading back there, I will say. Took a little while, but I think we're getting with the batting. I think they talk about that with leg spinning as well. But at this point in time, I think for the batting, you can see the competition is strong and getting better. But Not so sure about the bowling, but for now, the batting, I think we have a lot of batsmen there who are decent.
Yes, for sure. So next week, after we get deeper into the Super 50, we'll update you on the tables because we're just very much into the first couple of
Just
days of the
correct.
tournament and see who's getting into the playoffs. And we'll talk to more about the up Super 50. Just a quick thing in news and notes as we talk about more cricket. Cricket West Indies has marked a groundbreaking milestone in West Indies cricket by awarding year-long contracts to 14 female players across the region.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was quite impressed with that move. Quite
yeah,
impressed.
very much so. So these players are all full-time with their countries
Yeah.
as contracted players. And secondly, the Cricket West Indies have also renewed its contract with Apex Group, the global
Hmm.
financial service provider,
Yeah.
and they'll have 14 with the Apex on the front of the shirt for the next 14 matches in the 2024 season. So good for
Some
West
good
Indies.
moves.
Some
Good
good
moves.
news. Some
Really,
good
really
news.
good moves. I was happy to see that, and I hope the development that should come with that happens because it's a good investment for women's cricket in the Caribbean.
I hope so too. And if you look at it, there's a big focus on women's sports throughout the world. So
Throughout the
it,
world. It is a thing now, women's sports. So it's
yeah,
happy to see the West Indies is joining that bandwagon and making sure they're part of this movement for women's sports.
yes. And can only get better. Roger, forget men's sport. Let's focus on doing something for women.
Yes, that's true. That's
That's
true.
the best way to go.
It's the way to go. The way
Yeah,
to go. Way to go.
definitely. Okay,
Yeah. So
let's
I
move
think
from
one
the
last thing
cricket.
for cricket is Pooran's $2 million contract. What are your thoughts on that? Did he get too much money or not enough?
No, I think he deserves it. It's IPL and he's gonna get those things. Some people say he don't know. He's actually gonna be the captain also, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But some people are thinking that Richard Richard Pant, who has not been drafted and he's not retained by anyone, that
Hmm.
when he goes in the draft that he's gonna go for maybe more.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That'd be interesting. Lots of money thrown around over there in India.
yeah. A lot of money. And that's what I think. The money is good, but it sort of spoiled the players in a sense, and they don't want to play for your country anymore.
Country. Yeah. 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 I can
But
imagine they're making $2 million for what? 3 months?
not in 3 months, 6 weeks. So why would they want to play for West Indies?
Why would you play for anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy, we're in the wrong sporting. We're in the wrong
Yeah,
sport.
man, in the wrong time.
Yeah, that's true. That's more it than anything
But
else.
you know what? I always say in these things is it's It's for sport is a progression because I always say people pave the way and the others
Yes.
benefit better as go along. Because if you look at even basketball, the amount of money that some of those players make compared to Michael Jordan and not close to what he was.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
not even 1/50th of his talent, but they're making
no,
3 times more than what he was making.
yeah, it's something. I look at Jack Nicholas in golf. I saw something the other day where his first thing is he got $2 for winning.
That's going back a little, but yeah, for sure, it is
Yeah, so I mean that's how
different
it
times, different
is.
times for sure.
For
Wow,
sure.
that wasn't a lot of money at those times, eh?
No, so yeah. But yeah, that's how sport is. And one guy
True.
said, gentleman asked me one day, he said, wouldn't you like T20 to be around with your time? I said, sure, whatever,
Sure.
but it's life.
There you go.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It
Uh,
is.
so yeah, that's it for cricket, Roger, and we can get into some track and field and some
Yes.
soccer because I'm sure you want to talk about the new head at your and you and Theo's team have a new head.
I know. Oh yes. Oh yes. Well, let's ask you some track and field though. So they were talking to Usain Bolt on a podcast, and they asked him to name his dream 4x100 meter team. And of course, the headlines is, "Oh, there's no Noah Lyles in this," but
Mhm.
I don't think Noah Lyles is Noah Lyles in terms of times. It's like in the 20s in terms of rankings, in terms of fastest times ever. So the
No.
names he came up with was it would be a Safa starting to Justin Gatlin, surprisingly or not
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly, to Johan Blake, and then to himself. So it was three Jamaicans and Gatlin.
No, I think that's a good team.
It was a very good team. I mean, I was thinking about maybe what Tyson Gay would have been.
Tyson Gale thought about him too.
Yeah, yeah, he's the only one that I think would probably have been missing because he's another 9'6" guy. But
Where would he fit in?
well,
In
that's the
front
thing.
of
You'd have to kick off
Gatlin,
Blake.
Blake. Yeah, you have to get Blake out. Yeah.
He's on the third leg, so I don't know. But it's a good team from both, and I'm not sure why they're making a big deal about Noah Lyles not being on it. But anyway, you know how
Noah
it is.
Lyles is not that level of sprinter, not
Not,
especially in the way.
not at this point in time,
No,
to tell the truth. His career, his bio doesn't show him as a 9'7" runner. So why would you put him on a team of 9'6"? All these guys are going 9'6", 9'7" low.
exactly. Right.
So he's in a different league for sure, for sure. Going on this weekend, this Canadian Lucia Stafford, she's hoping to break the Canadian Road 5K record of 15:16 in this Hamilton, Ontario Elite 5K. So, although not a lot of running is going on now, there's a lot of road running. And of course, whenever there's running, there's going to be talking about records and all of that. So, if in Canada, it's Lucia Stafford going down there in Hamilton to try and break the 5K record. But tomorrow is the big one, Ingle. It's the New York Marathon.
New York Marathon. Yeah.
Yeah, and the defending champions are back, and they're both looking good. And everyone is saying, for the first time in nearly a decade, we probably will see the champions defend their titles. I mean, I don't know about Tamara Tola on the men's side, but Helen Obiri looks good. That means
Hmm.
she may have a shot to retain her title. So, as you know, the New York Marathon is one of the biggest marathons in the world, so it's going to be a big deal in New York tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be big, and that's one of the marathons that I do watch, and
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I mean, I watch most of it. You walk away, you come back, but I usually spend a couple of hours watching it.
True. Very, very true. Very, very true. Also, though, on the road last weekend, Ethiopian Yomik Kaljelka, he set a world record when he won the Valencia half marathon. So, he owns the indoor mile world record, and now he owns the half marathon record. So he's only 27 seconds, 27 years old, I mean. So, you know what? With these long distance runners, they usually go much older. So who knows what this guy's going to do? But for now, he's broken the world record for the
Hmm.
half marathon, and he's the indoor mile record holder. So let's see how he does this year. So it's going to be an interesting track and field for this Ethiopian kid, Yomit Kajelka.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Does he run the full marathon too, or just the half marathons?
No, it's just a half because he's more. He runs like the 10,000,
And
5K and all. Yeah, yeah. He,
okay,
he doesn't go the full marathon.
because I
So
know a lot of these athletes who run the 10K and the 3,000, they've gone up to the
they're moving up.
now moving up. Yeah,
There's
so
a lot of money on the roads, I think, so that's a part of it. But you're absolutely right. They're moving up.
and I guess this is a perfect weather for these road
Oh
runners.
yes, oh yes. Later in the year, in the fall time, when it's nice and cool, they go really well. So interesting to see. Now we have the World Indoor Championships is coming up next year in China, Nanjing, March 21 to 23, and they've sort of changed how you qualify for it. So now 50% of the people there are going to be qualifying based on their entry standards, but 50 of them are going to be qualified based on the top list. So the top list is a ranking system that World Athletics has, and sorry, they're going to use that more than just the people that run the time. So it's a combination of things, and people are going to get wild cards as well. So the defending champions get wild cards, and people that win diamond leagues get wild cards. So it's going to be an interesting mix. But for me, the most interesting thing that I noticed is that in 2020 they had 7 World Indoor Tour meets. 7.
Hmm.
For 2025, you know what you're going to have, Ingo? 61. So in 5 years, they have moved from 7 to 61. So the indoor season, the indoor tour has become a huge deal now for athletes and a good way for people to make money for sure. But it's a huge change, and I think we're gonna have to probably start paying a little more attention to indoors because it's always the poor cousin, the second-rated thing. But I think it's coming up to get its own. We're here and we're a big deal. So looking forward to see how the indoor goes starting in January.
And January, yeah.
Definitely see how that one goes. And in another one, a big conversation in Jamaica has always been about the junior athletes. By the time they finish high school, they're totally burnt out and they get to the professional leagues and they become nothing. That the coaches at the high school level are taking advantage of the athletes. And, you know, it's a lot of conversation in Jamaica because so many stars. So we have a lot of stars in Jamaica, but so many
Mhm.
stars have not made it. So it maybe
Yeah.
more have not made it than those that have. So, they're saying trust the science, use technology. Coaches should go about making personalized plans for these athletes. Don't take a generic approach. Use whatever apps out there, collect data, do a lot of data analysis, spend the time with the medical team to make sure you're doing well, and they'll be fine. So I think if it's a discipline though, which I think is not there today. So if they do that, they may have a shot because it's always been a huge conversations about the people that never made it after they did so well. So it's going to be interesting to see if they listen to this medical expert from the UK.
Hmm.
See what happens with that. In some more news and notes, USA Track and Field, USA Track and Field is the biggest track and field organization in the world, and they're making a nice move, in my opinion. So they're bringing the USA Paralympics track and field program under their umbrella. So it's always been held separate, and again, I always use the words as like the poor cousin. But now they're bringing it as one, and they're hoping that this partnership is going to unite athletes. It's going to make it bigger for the Paralympic athletes and all of that. So I hope more countries adopt that, including Canada, because I think there's so many athletes doing the Paralympics, and we don't know about them. We don't hear about them. We don't know what they're doing. And I think if they come under this umbrella where it's just part of sports, track and field in general, we may see a big difference for these athletes, and they deserve to get more recognition for their activities. So looking forward to seeing how that one goes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And finally, there's award seasons, as you know, and Mahuchik, high jumper from Ukraine, and of course, Mondo Duplantis, who I think is going to win the male athlete of the year. But they both were crowned European athletes of the year, so that's an indication maybe of the big one coming up at the end of the month. So let's see who win the worlds. But for now, Mahuchik, high jump world record holder, Duplantis, the pole vault world record holder, were crowned 2024 European athletes of the year. You had anything else on track and
I
field?
also saw something that Julian Alfred and Tibergo named
Yes,
male and female athletes in
for the
Paris.
Olympics. Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
Which I mean, I've never known that that award was around,
I didn't know that either.
but yeah, they were, and I think yeah, I was a little mixed on Tobago, but I think looking back, I think yeah, he probably deserved it.
Mhm.
Um, I thought maybe Chibet would have won the women's side because she won two gold medals, but I guess it's not 100 meters. She won 10,000, 5,000.
They
Um,
always say the sprints rule, right?
yeah, they draw all the attention. So she won the 100 and she was second in the 200. So she did really well. Kudos to her, as I said. Anything she gets, she truly deserves. So
Yeah.
congratulations to both of them. Young kids, both of them very young. So let's see how their future goes. But they're off to a fantastic start for sure.
And Julian is saying she don't think she has reached the peak yet, and she hasn't
She
achieved what
hasn't.
she wanted.
She hasn't.
Right.
She's a very hard worker, very disciplined. I
Mhm.
think her future is bright. I think she's gonna go. I don't know if she's gonna get to world record 10-4 pace, but I think she's gonna get to the 10-6s.
Okay.
Definitely get down to the 10-6s. So I'm looking forward to see how she does next year. She's gonna do indoors and outdoors again, which will be interesting to see. So some football news before we run out of time. Totally, Dwight York. Big
Mhm.
Dwight York, Manchester United, Trinidad and Tobago. He has now been appointed Senior Soca Warriors head coach. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Deservingly, you think it's about time that he became a head coach?
I think it should have happened before, yeah. I should have
Yeah.
given it, but good for him. Kudos for Dwight. We can see how he goes with that. And Trinidad, they have actually just qualified for the Gold Cup, right?
Yes, they did.
So that's
So
good, yeah,
good timing for him for sure.
good timing for him.
I know he was trying for the Jamaica job, which had been a little stretch for him to get it, but now
Hmm.
he's the Trinidad coach, and I think he's going to do well.
I think so too.
He's going to really, really do well.
Yeah.
But we mentioned Manchester United and Ruben Amarin.
Hmm.
He's in a lot of trouble. He's in Lisbon Sporting Club there, and
Yeah.
he's now the Manchester United head coach, starting in
Yes.
a couple of weeks after the international break coming up. And he said he wanted to take it at the end of the season, but they said it's either now or never. You got to come now.
Yeah.
Only 39. He's there, and they're not so happy about that in Sporting Lisbon.
No, they're not. And yeah, he says there. That's what he just. He wanted to wait, and they just said no.
Nope, you got to come
You,
now.
if you don't come now, it's the job is gone.
Yep, yep. So
And
for his sake, he better do well. I mean, I can't see with all this going on, and he comes and doesn't do well. But anyway, Manchester United is a hot mess right now, so I'm hoping he can help them come and
yeah,
become the team that everyone wants them to be.
yeah, he starts on the 11th, is it? Uh,
The week after, because of the
yeah,
international break. So
international break to the week
yeah,
after. Yeah.
yeah,
Manchester United will play Chelsea next, I think.
yeah. Looking forward to that one. It's the
Yeah,
Roger Ingle Sports Show. It's the Roger Ingle battle in the EPL.
battle. Yeah.
Interested to see how
So,
that one goes. But something happened this week, England, which I thought was not good for soccer, was
mhm,
the World Football Player of the Year.
yes.
Vinicius Jr. was the heavy favorite going in from Real Madrid. And when Real Madrid found out that he was not going to win it, somehow they found out before the event,
Hmm.
and they boycotted the event.
They hate
All of them. None of them
everyone.
showed up. Not only just Vinicius, the entire team. Nobody. So they won awards as a team, and they weren't there to collect it. So Rodri from Manchester City won it, and I must say, England. I mean, not. I'm probably not the biggest soccer fan to know everything, but I don't know how Rodri won. I mean, I don't know if you have thoughts on that, but
I
what did
don't
he
know
do to
either.
win this?
I don't know that either. That was a shock. And everybody's expressing their surprise and thinking that is because Vinicius Jr. spoke up about
Yes,
the things that
yes,
happened to him. So,
agreed. That's my thought as well. That I don't know, but it was just a sad thing for the whole week. And then Benzema from France came out and like, what did Roger do to win this and all of that stuff?
yeah,
Vinicius should have won it. So it's unfortunate that it comes down to that, but I don't know these decision makers sometime, but it's really, really weird what happened here.
it's really weird. And yeah, you said the decision makers, what can we do? Maybe they like controversy.
Yeah, apparently they do. Apparently they do.
Yeah.
But kudos, I mean, congrats to Rodri. I mean, he's the winner.
Congrats to him. Yeah, he didn't choose himself. So,
Yeah, I know.
congrats to him. Yeah.
He won. So, but yeah, I've watched Manchester City many times, and I never thought
Never
he was
thought, no, I
the
never
best player
thought.
in the world. That's for sure. I would say
No,
that.
I guess they were thinking, well, because he took the country to the
Yes,
Europe. Yeah.
Spain. Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's what they're talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And quickly before we run out of here, a big star that some people think is still one of the greatest players in the world, Neymar.
Hmm.
He returned to the pitch for the first time in over a year after he ruptured his ACL in his left knee. So he played for 20 minutes. He's played in Saudi Arabia. So he's back on the pitch, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can make a difference. They didn't call him to play for Brazil and as yet, so he's not going to be playing in the international break next week, but he's back. So looking forward to see if Neymar is truly back or not. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think when these guys start to go through like Saudi and stuff, that's to me their career is on the way down.
I know they just get the pay and they
Yeah,
don't do anything other than get the pay.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all it is. So
Yeah,
good luck. Happy to see him back, and
for
hope he
sure,
can do
for
something
sure.
with mental if necessary.
I
And
hope so
Roger,
for his sake. Now the time,
unfortunately, Roger, we're out of time. It's at 10:59. I just want to say thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for listening to the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Day Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Be safe and enjoy your weekend.
have a wonderful weekend, everyone. See you next week.